I just wanted to take this time to share with you some things about my life.
This is also the beauty of being in nature.
I'm also very excited.
There's so many things going on.
Your physical avatar is really the foundation for everything.
Next part is one of my favorite parts.
Guys, so I just finished spearfishing and I wanted to show you guys what I caught today. And also, I'm experimenting creating new content, specifically longer form videos on YouTube, because I feel kind of burnt out from just creating short videos for Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And I feel that having long form content is gonna allow me to express more things and better things that I'm not able to express in a video that's less than 1 minute. So I want to show you guys what I caught today. This is actually the last fish that I caught. So the spear is still inside the fish. Look at this. It's such a beautiful coral trout, and I did such a perfect shot. So you guys can see it here. I hit the brain, the head, and it also came out here. So this is called the stone shot. It means that as soon as I hit the fish, it was paralyzed and it's not able to move or swim away or struggle. It's basically instant death. And this coral trout is really delicious when it comes to cooking it with butter or even eating it raw. So you guys can also see, this is my spear, right? So it shot the fish, and usually the spear goes through the fish, and it goes through the fish, and there's a connection here on the gun that I can remove. So instead of pulling the spear out of the fish again, I can just keep pulling the spear and the line is gonna come out like this. See, so now the fish is here. This is the best shot of a coral trout that I remember in recent memory. And I want to show you guys the other fishes that I've been catching this morning. The other fishes that I caught this morning. All right, it's stuck, so I actually have to go there and retrieve it. And see these rocks here? They're very, very sharp because they're covered by barnacles. I should have kept my gloves on. I don't know why I removed them. Guys, so even though I already tried to be careful, see how the barnacles cut the hand so easily? There's some blood coming out already. And here are the fishes that I'm excited to show you guys that I caught. So this is not the fish, this is the buoy that I bring with me to hang my fishes while I catch them. Let me get up first. Here. So this one here, it's a queen fish, very good for barbecue because it's flat. Here is another queen fish, you see, smaller one. And this one right here, it's a Spanish mackerel. Sometimes they call it kingfish here as well. This is very good for sashimi. The meat is really, really soft. And actually there was another very big kingfish that I caught today, but because my spear tip was not too sharp, it didn't penetrate fully. So after 50 seconds of struggling underwater, it tore through the flesh and it escaped. So obviously I'm devastated with that, because not just about losing the fish, but because whenever you injure a fish with spearfishing and you don't bring them home, they almost always just die because the wound doesn't heal underwater. And marine life, underwater life, it's so competitive. So any kind of weakness means that other predators are gonna attack them, or they are not just able to hunt successfully to feed themselves. So this is another reason why I always obsess about my spearfishing gear, to make sure that they're absolutely the best setup, so that as much as possible, all the fishes that I shoot, I should be able to not just hit, but successfully bring home. And right now, I just want to show you guys my gear. So all the fishes are here. The wetsuit, the fins, the gun, the buoy. So I have to pack them and continue recording under the shade, or else this phone is gonna die. So I was able to find a shaded spot for myself so I don't overheat, the fishes don't overheat, and also the phone doesn't overheat. And if you like more of this kind of content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know your thoughts. But right now, what I want to share with you guys is what's been on my mind lately. What have I been focusing on my own lifestyle? Of course, I create content, and of course, I focus a lot on helping my clients achieve their ideal physique, to help them look and feel their best. Basically, just helping them dial down their habits, making sure that that their good habits become better, making sure that their bad habits and their addictions slowly get removed so that they can maximize natural fat burning capacity and also natural muscle building capacity while also improving their energy and their longevity. But yes, aside from helping my clients and my own fitness training, recently I've been really focusing on something called semen retention, because I believe that we should always be learning and exploring and growing in life. And I feel that our sexual energy, I'm sure you also have a sense that what I'm saying is true, even though you may not be practicing the things that I'm talking about. I'm sure you have a sense that your sexual energy really is the source of all your energy. They even say that almost all of man's activity ends up being motivated by sex. So the reason why we work hard, why we train, why we save money, why we put effort into anything is pretty much for sex, for reproduction. So there is something going on in the last, 20 years, and it's called pornography, because nowadays with internet, and not just internet, but fast speed, unlimited internet, basically every single guy starting from 10 years old has access to very high quality pornography, instantly, unlimited. And basically the kind of visual stimulus that a guy can get right now from pornography is way more sexually exciting than what kings in the past used to enjoy. So the problem is when a guy is watching pornography, he doesn't realize just how addictive it is, and it very quickly becomes his main form of self-soothing whenever he's bored, whenever he's anxious, whenever he's tired, whenever he's stressed, or it becomes such a dependency that the person cannot fall asleep at night without jerking off. So I'll make a confession, and obviously it's not very comfortable for me to make this confession, but I've been addicted to pornography since I was probably 12 years old. So at first it was just the packaging of underwear from my mom's clothes or my sister's clothes, and then it quickly became like magazines or certain kinds of like websites with pictures, and then very quickly it became like videos. And I'm sure you guys know today it's just so easily accessible, but long story short, I've been addicted to pornography since I was 12, 13 years old. And I was already able to overcome the addictions of alcohol, cigarettes, weed, binge watching Netflix, junk food. I was able to overcome a lot of these addictions, but the last addiction, the most recent addiction, or should I say the only bad addiction I have left, was pornography addiction. And obviously pornography addiction is very correlated to, masturbation, because men don't just watch porn without masturbation, right? So it goes hand in hand. But basically I've been off pornography and masturbation for a few months now. And guys, I can tell you it's really something that is super important to do, especially if you have your own family, if you're a husband, if you're a father, if you're trying to be the best boyfriend you can be. For relationship, for romantic intimate relationship and/or family, if there are kids involved, really, you gotta get rid of pornography, because it really corrupts a lot of things in your head. It really reduces the effort that you put in to the relationship. It also really reduces the depth of intimacy you can experience, not just with your sexual partner, but also with your kids. And also, when you keep watching pornography and jerking off, you lose this sensitivity to human organic connection, especially of the sexual nature. So what I can tell you is after quitting pornography and masturbation, I'm able to enjoy the moments spent with my partner, Nika, on a much deeper and richer level. So let me give you an example. In the past, if she would stroke my neck or my thigh, it feels nice. But in some ways, it's like, But lately, because I've removed the drug of instant gratification through porn and compulsive masturbation, now my baseline pleasure on my day-to-day life, and even on the non-penetrative or non-sexual aspects of intimacy, all these things become more pleasurable. So gazing in her eyes, or her touching my thigh, touching my neck, or her just holding my hands, it's almost electric. And it's not a binary black and white thing. What I'm saying is every week, every month that I say goodbye to pornography and masturbation, I become more sensitive. I become more appreciative of life. I became more present. And of course, I think it's quite obvious too that when you're not jerking off every night or every other night, you're not losing this vital life force. Because every time you ejaculate, you're basically draining the battery. You're draining your life energy. And for many people, this is the only way they know how to relax. But the truth is, when it's late at night and you want to go to sleep, what you actually want is to reduce your cortisol, and for most people, the healthiest way is to reduce your cortisol and also to increase oxytocin. And you can do this by spending time with your kids, with your partner, hugging them, discussing with them, talking to them, sharing their feelings, connecting. You can also do this by meditation. So simply sitting down with your eyes closed and just focusing on the inhalation and the exhalation, maximizing your awareness on your breath. So when your thoughts come, because you're thinking about whatever, maybe it's temptation to watch porn, or maybe it's stress about the following day. It doesn't matter, it's okay to have these thoughts, but you shift your attention from those thoughts to your breath. So doing that 10, 15, 20 minutes at night is really the best way you can train yourself to relax, to really maximize your recovery before you go to sleep, to help you fall sleepy, to help you fall asleep deeper. So replace pornography addiction or watching porn and jerking off at night. Replace that with meditation. And I swear to God, you will be more calm. You will also be more proud of yourself. You'll have more energy. You'll have more discipline. And guys, I'm sharing these things with you not from a position of I've made it, I'm your teacher and you're my student. I'm still in the trenches, and my sexual desire, my sex drive, these are things that I'm wrestling with also every day. Journaling helps a lot. Writing down your thoughts about it so that you're more clear. Listening to content that helps you understand the benefits of quitting porn or the benefits of semen retention. These also help because when you have a bigger, stronger conviction, when you have a stronger why, it's easier to go through the process. But what I was saying is that I'm not perfect. So I've already attempted to quit porn maybe more than 20 times since I was 17 years old. Since 12, 13, 14 years ago, I've been trying to quit porn, and sometimes I'll succeed for 1 week, sometimes I'll succeed for 1 month, sometimes I'll succeed for, okay, actually 1 month is pretty much the longest I've succeeded in the past, but this time around it's been more than 3 months. My point is that you don't have to be perfect, but you do owe it to yourself to be doing your best in every single day, in every single hour, in every single minute, in every single second. So this is also the concept I have when it comes to training. If you only have 70% energy that day for your workout, but you give it 70%, that's your 100%. So it's the same thing when it comes to abstaining from these toxic habits and addictions like pornography. But what I'm trying to tell you also is that it comes in stages. So I think pornography is really bad for everyone. They should stop it. And then there's also another level, which I've been embarking on the last few months, which is semen retention when it comes to intercourse, when it comes to sex with your partner. Because ejaculating every time you have sex, even though that's socially accepted as normal, it's not the ideal way to go about things. Because you lose a lot of energy, like I said, physiologically, energetically, hormonally, spiritually, psychically. If you play video games, you would know that there's HP and MP. So in a lot of video games, there's the health points, and then there's something called the mana points. So the health points is, you know, if someone shoots you with an arrow or someone cuts you with a knife, you lose some blood, then you lose health points. It's like very physiological and surface. The MP, it's usually colored blue. That is your mana, your magical power, basically. And that really is what semen retention is about. If you're ejaculating every day, you're basically drained. You don't really have any excess creative energy to do things. I'm not saying you cannot be creative if you're ejaculating, but I'm saying that you can be much more creative if you are reducing your ejaculations. This is not about right or wrong or being guilty or shameful because some book written 2,000 years ago is saying you should be ashamed of something. It's not about that. It's simply about consciousness, being aware of the pros and cons of doing something and being aware of the pros and cons of not doing something. From my experience, I know that every day I retain semen, I get more energy. But there is a trade-off. There is also more tension. There is also more nervous energy. This is why you need to focus hard on the working out and also on the meditation and also on the journaling. And best if you can also have an activity like music or dancing or art so that you could basically channel that creative energy. Instead of creating pressure here that's negative like a pressure cooker, you're able to channel that sexual energy into creative pursuits. It could be painting, it could be poetry, it could be for your business, it could be singing, it could be cooking. So right now I'm going to gut and scale the fishes here in the ocean because the other fishes, the smaller ones, can eat the fish waste. So nothing is wasted. But the other reason why I do this is so that the kitchen at home doesn't smell so bad. Because if you know anything about fish, you would realize that they stink quite bad. But the problem with using the ocean as a kitchen, especially in this particular spot where there's a shade for the phone, is that there's barnacles everywhere. And the fishes are also really slimy. So while I'm trying to gut and scale this fish, I'm figuring out where can I hide this fish. Okay, maybe I found a spot right here. Right here. Okay. This is also the beauty of being in nature. There's so many things going on that you have to be really present and aware, or else you're gonna keep hurting yourself or losing your things, and that's obviously not good. Okay, so I was debating what to do with this coral trout, but I realized that I want to be eating the skin of this fish. So this means that I should be scaling it first. It's much better to scale the fish before you remove the guts, because when you remove the guts, it loses some of its integrity. I mean, the shape of the fish becomes less firm, so better to scale it first. And these fishes, they have so many spines in their teeth, in their gills, here at the bottom, here at the top. So whenever possible, whenever I can remember, I use my gloves when I'm scaling and gutting them. And guys, if you like this kind of content, you want to see more of it, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know which parts is your favorite so I can make more of these. Because the truth is, I'm thinking of creating more content starting now, not just about muscle or fat or energy or health, but more to do with masculine transformation, or about fatherhood, or about how to align your life to what your body was designed for. So basically, primal lifestyle, masculine transformation, and fatherhood. And of course, a very big and foundational aspect of that is building your ideal physique. Because at the end of the day, we are in a physical world, and your physical avatar is really the foundation for everything. And it's also the easiest way for you to build confidence and discipline. And this confidence and this discipline is really going to translate to all other aspects of your life. It's not just about having abs to impress girls on the beach, or being able to fit in that dress that you really like from 15 years ago that you couldn't fit in now because you gained a lot of weight and you can't get it off. It's not just about vanity, even though that is also a big part. Because we human beings, we are both shallow and deep. We want to look good, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to look good, but it shouldn't just be about that. And the problem is, if you don't actually look good, then you're going to spend the rest of your life just wasting energy wanting to look good. You're not going to be able to actually look good, to have more energy and time and focus to devote to your other desires, to actually self-actualize, to realize and reach your full potential. Alright, so this fish is already scaled, and right now what I'm gonna do is gut it. So I make a hole here. Not hole, I cut it there. It's usually easier if there's a flat surface to work on, but since I want you guys to see what's going on, I'll do this freestyling like this in a half squat. Yeah, this is pretty gnarly, guys. Nobody really enjoys this process. At first I used to think that the man, me, should hunt, and my woman or my mom or other women should be the one cleaning the fish. But then I realized, I'm pretty sure in the wild, when they hunt the animals, be it a deer or fishes like this, the men themselves gut and clean and dress the meat or the animal at the site of the hunt. And they carry it home, which I'm going to do very shortly. So the actual hunt is just one part of it. This is also the other part. See right now? I removed the organs from its inner cavity, and I've also removed the gills. Was I saying scales or gills just now? Because this is the scales, this is the gills, this is what the fish uses to breathe, and here are the organs. So now it's clean, and this coral trout, I'm gonna cut it into steaks and cook them in a pan with butter, basil, garlic, salt, pepper. This is gonna be very delicious. And the heads, of course, is gonna be used to make soup. Can already imagine Dominic's gonna be so excited because Dominic really likes to eat the eyes of the fish. He'll specifically request, eyes, I want to eat the eyes. I'm also very excited because my mom and dad, they're in the island right now with me. They're living with me for 2 months. And my mom really loves fish. Like really loves fish. She can eat fish 2 or 3 meals per day. And she's very excited because a lot of these fishes, I can eat them raw. I mean, she can eat them raw. So this is the Spanish mackerel that I told you guys about. For the Spanish mackerel, I almost always just make sashimi with it. And this means that I don't need to scale the fish because I'm gonna fillet it and remove the skin anyway to eat as sashimi. Okay, so look at this fish, guys. There's actually eggs inside here, see? So the eggs I'm gonna keep because this is gonna be very tasty to eat. So I'll put the eggs in a plastic container and eat it. Everything else needs to be removed. And I don't know if I told you guys already, but when I'm fishing, when I'm catching these fishes, as soon as I shoot them, I make a cut in the gills so that they bleed. They remove the blood from their system because the blood is actually what makes the meat taste bitter and not so nice. So you want to remove as much blood as fast as possible immediately after you shoot them. So I make a cut, let them bleed, and I also put a knife, you know, in their brain, usually from the mouth here. I stuck it here to pierce the brain so that they die. And even after they're dead, their heart and their body is still gonna be pumping the blood, and that's good. And see, I'm just trying to scrape up with my fingers all the blood within, because this blood is actually the enemy of sashimi. That's where a lot of the bitterness comes from, and the blood is also what causes the quality of the meat to decay fast. So the less blood there is, the better. And also, the goal really is, if you want to maximize the quality of the fish that you're eating, the goal is to not let any fresh water touch the fish before you actually cook it. So right now I'm washing it with seawater so that when I get home, I don't need to rinse it with fresh water, because these are saltwater fishes, and when they come into contact with fresh water, it changes the texture of the meat. Done. So this kingfish is done. I mean, it's prepared. It just needs to fillet it at home. And these two queen fishes, I'm just going to remove the guts and maybe give it to some friends, maybe cook it on a barbecue. You know, some people accuse me of buying fish from the supermarket and then taking pictures and videos with them just to show off to you guys and pretend I'm living a primal lifestyle. I wonder what they would say now. And guys, again, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, comment, let me know which kind of topics or what kind of stuff you want to see me make more content of. That is longer form instead of 50-second videos for short form content that's really like junk food for your brain. Because at the end of the day, a lot of success and fulfillment in life comes from your ability to focus and concentrate. So if you've trained your brain to only pay attention to things that are 40 seconds or less, and you cannot focus on something longer than 40 seconds, then in some ways you're really shooting yourself in the foot. How are you supposed to read a book or concentrate on a task or start a business or persevere in your relationship with your spouse or with your kids if your attention span is 50 seconds? So now, time to bring the food home and get myself home quickly, so that there's time to fillet the fishes and also cook lunch. Because right now it's 11:20 a.m. and because I was making a bunch of videos, I'm running behind schedule and they're probably waiting already for me. But I enjoy this part of the hunt because I have to hike. So usually I have two hands available to carry these fishes. But right now, one hand is holding this tripod because I want to show you guys this amazing view. So we're kind of halfway up this hill. Okay, so right now there's like a 4-meter incline that I have to climb through. So today I would say I caught maybe 11 kilograms, so it's not bad at all. But sometimes I catch a lot more and then I have to pay for that greed because I have to hike back home with all that fish, with all my gear, when I'm already exhausted. And all of this is done on an empty stomach. So I didn't eat anything or drink any protein shakes before going fishing today. And that's what I also recommend to all my male clients. It doesn't matter if you're gonna go for a 1-hour cardio session, or you're gonna play tennis, or you're gonna go to the gym. If you're working out in the morning, if If you're a guy, work out with an empty stomach and try to remember that this is something that man has been doing for many years. We don't go out on a hunt with a full stomach. Your brain, your body is sharper and more focused when it's not spending energy and blood digesting food in your stomach. You have more blood in your brain, in your muscles, and there's also an elemental hunger to perform and to achieve if you have not yet eaten. I see my motorcycle now. We're almost there. Now this next part is one of my favorite parts because I get to rest and let a machine do the work while I drive home. I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know which parts you like the most, what you want to see more of, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay?